Welcome back everyone to my Give Me God of War difficulty walkthrough, and in this video we're going to be getting through all of the Norn's area,
This way.
and we are going to be getting through a boss fight. So yeah, let's go on to the first fight.
Is everyone hearing that creepy whisper?
It is like an itch in the mind.
It means we've stepped into their domain. Be ready for anything.
Illusions.
Projections, possibly. But assume nothing. There's no telling what manner of creature they've made unwitting guards.
Delightful.
Kratos, Ghost of Sparta, Bane of Olympus, Destroyer of Fate.
Okay, so moving on to the first fight here. This is not the boss that I was talking about, but there is a Traveler. So the best way to kill him is to try not to get hit and just charge up the axe and then use that Blessings of the Frost attack. So remember how I told you guys that I am going to be using this a lot for most of the fights. So you're going to see here I activate it, and it is very, very strong. You're going to see me kill this guy very quickly as soon as I fully charge that axe. So that's the easiest way to do this fight, is you just want to charge the axe, and then you can kill him basically in under like 30 seconds. So that's how you're able to kill the Traveler very quickly, and we're going to move on to the next fight.
I hate to tell you, the parts in your mind will be real too.
Seems he was guarding that way outside.
Okay, so for this fight, it is just two elves. So this is the easiest way that I found to kill them. I froze one, and I just went to town on the one that was frozen. The only reason why you see that they're both frozen here is because I hit him mid-air, he hit the ground, and he got froze without the axe. So that's the easiest way to kill these guys, is you want to freeze one and kill him, and then freeze one and kill the other. That is it for this fight, so let's go on to the next one.
But different. Like a confused memory.
A rather hostile memory at that.
These fates should know I will not be deterred.
Okay, so moving on to another one of these little mini fights here. This is just one of those little hyenas, and then it's just two of the normal Bifrost enemies that you would normally face. So, for this part, you just want to break both of their shields, and then you want to just use the light attack for the Blades of Chaos, and that will be it. It's just those three enemies for this first part, and then once you run down, there'll be a couple more enemies that spawn in, but it's just these three enemies for now, until you run down that little path, and then you'll have some more. So let's go on to that fight now. Alright, moving on to this next one. It's two more of these dogs, and then it is one elf. So you can freeze the elf and kill the two dogs, or you can just absolutely go haywire like you see me doing here. It's probably better to freeze them. I'm pretty sure I do actually use my rage on this one to kill the elf. You don't have to do the same, obviously. It's just because I was stuck in a pretty big predicament since I couldn't really see anything, and I had to make sure that I did not die there. And also, I like using the rage. The rage is fun to use. You don't really get too many times to use it in God of War games, but that's why I try to use it as much as I can as Atreus and as Kratos. And that's it for this fight, so let's go on to the next one. Starting on the next fight here, there's going to be a Revenant and 2 of these Bifrost eyes of like the little suiciders. So for them, you just want to go for them first. So stay far and go for them first. Once you hit them at least once, they'll try to suicide on you, so they'll come close. And then, yeah, once you kill these 2, it's just you versus the Revenant, which is pretty easy. It's the same as Atreus. You just want to shoot one arrow, hit her a couple times, shoot another arrow, hit her a couple times, like normal. Exactly the same as it usually is. And this should be a pretty easy fight. Now, you are going to see me do something that, you know, you're not probably supposed to do, but you can do it. If you did not use the tree that was in the last area, you can actually force her to run that far back where the tree was to actually go ahead and hit her with it. So you're going to see right here, I did it right here. And that's how I killed her. And that is it for this fight. So let's go on to the next one.
Well, certainly clinks like genuine hack silver. I suppose there's one small consolation to this ordeal. At least we won't have to introduce ourselves.
Don't credit your reputation, Mimir. They see the whole lives of any who approach them.
Okay, so now that we're on to the boss fight, this is going to be the first Phantom that you face. I'm pretty sure you face 2 in this game. So what you want to do is whenever they're glowing, whenever their little eyeball is glowing, the one that has the rune on it, you can basically hit them and it will stun them. So right there you see how it's glowing. That's when you have to hit it and it will stun them. If you don't hit it in time, then it will not stun them. Which you're going to see I do not use the stun a lot, which I do regret not using it as much as I could have, but there's not really much I could do to change it. So you just want to keep building that stun meter, just constantly keep building it up. The best way to build it up is by stunning him and then hitting him while he's stunned. And once his stun meter is fully filled, there will be 2 pillars on this little boss fight arena that you have to destroy. And when you destroy them, it will destroy 50% of his HP. So you're going to see right here, since he got fully stunned, you break one of these pillars, that's 50% of his HP gone. Just got to do it one more time now, and then you are good. So this boss fight is actually very, very easy. You just got to make sure you stay far back enough. I do actually die on this as well. So yeah, whenever he gets close to you, he will try to do that little slam attack. That's an unblockable. And then there's another slam attack that he'll do if you're at around medium range, where he'll try to send projectiles at you. You just have to normally block it, and that's it. That is pretty much the entire fight. He will do some swings at you, but the best way to counter those is probably to just dodge backwards, which is what you see me do mostly. Mostly dodging backwards does work. This is where I die here because I was frozen and I was too slow. But, yeah, not really much changes between his stage 1 and his stage 2. So there isn't too much for you to worry about. You just gotta worry about whenever he's doing his full dash at you and not just the dash into the ground. You do gotta make sure you dodge left or right and not backwards. And then you're gonna see him do these little AoE attacks that adds little frost on the floor with little circles and dots in them. You just gotta watch out for those and stay out of those little circles. And that is it. That should actually be all of the moves. So not probably, that is all of the moves. And somewhere soon you will see me beat him. And then we will go on to going to the Norns after that. So right here, as you see, still building a stun meter. You just want to keep doing this, but make sure you do hit his weak spot. Once it glows, then he will go down. Make sure you do hit that so that it goes quicker than how quick it was for me. And then once you finish this here, you just have to hit him around 2 or 3 times. I just hit him with the axe 2 or 3 times. There we go. And that's it. So let's go on to the next fight.
Well, yet another gift of Fimbulwinter, I suppose.
The magic draining out of all of us has to end up somewhere.
This way.
The Norns are somewhere in that cave just ahead.
There's that itchy sound again. Normally, I don't mind ladies whispering in my ear, but this is positively irksome.
Anyone ever tell you that you babble when you're terrified?
Terrified? I'll have you know I'm at the very most deeply apprehensive. And breaking tension with humor is the sacred duty of a traveling companion. How very dare you? Babbling.
A door.
Oh, that looks official.
My boy.
Everything.
Baldur, listen to me, please.
Stop! Why did you bring him here? You are not welcome here!
Wait! Baldur, come back!
Okay, so in this fight, these are going to be the final 3 stages of the final fight. So this is stage 1. This is just going to be these little enemies, and they're very easy to kill. So you want to pull out the blades, and you can use X and R2 to do that, like that big swing attack that you see me doing. And then you just want to charge up the blade. Once you charge it up, you can use the L1 and triangle move, the same one on the Leviathan axe, except it's just a slightly bit worse than the Leviathan axe one, but this is better because there's a ton of enemies and you need crowd control. This first fight is probably the easiest out of them all. The second one is probably the hardest, so we're gonna move on to that one. There's not really too much to explain on this first one. I just recommend that you obviously use the Blades of Chaos, because if you don't use it, then you're not going to really have a really good crowd control weapon. And that is it for the first stage, so let's go on to the second stage now.
My boy! But me!
Freya!
Brother, over here! Come get me! I want none of this!
Mimir!
Seekerin? Brother, hold off!
Why did you never turn on Odin?
But I did! I tried to stop him any way I could!
Don't lie to me! You served Odin from the day you met.
Okay, so for this fight, I want to make it very clear that you do not have to kill a ton of enemies, you just have to survive. But you are going to have to kill some of them, because you will get overrun very quickly. So what you want to do is you can either choose to focus the nightmares, which is probably the most recommended. And if they ever try to suicide on you, just dodge backwards, and that should be able to get them away from hitting you in time. And as long as you keep killing the nightmares, and you just keep yourself in around close to a corner where you can just sit there and not really lose too much, you just have to survive for, I think it's around maybe a minute or 2, and that's it. And yeah, that is it for the second stage, so let's go on to the third one.
It is not her.
No. Of course. Brother, the tree! It's pulling me in!
Mimir!
Brother, help me! Monster!
Atreus! I am coming.
Okay, so going on to the third stage, this is around the in-between stage where it's slightly challenging but slightly easy. So I do die there because I was testing some stuff. And for this one, you just want to use your Bifrost ability, which is L1 in circle, and then you can just basically almost insta-kill that armored enemy, the armored, what are they called? The Inhrindiars, I think they're called. Probably butchered that name. But yeah, for this one, you just want to keep them all in front of you and just take your time with this. This one is not timed. This is all enemies that you have to kill, but they have HP like they're at level 1. It's very odd how they have such low HP, but that's also the reason why you can honestly play this as safe as you need to. Because as you're seeing with these level 3 guys here, I basically only 3 hit them. So not really too much to explain here. Just keep them all in front of you. Play this as safe as you can, like you see me doing here. See me as soon as I got down to 1 HP, I was just playing it as safe as I needed to, so I didn't die. And even for this armored guy here, it's still very, very easy to kill him, even though he has 2 bars. Like I said, they have like very, very nerfed HP, and there's not too many enemies. So I think this is actually the end. And yes, that is. So that is it for all the fights in this video. The rest is just cutscenes. And I will see you guys in the next one.
He's a monster!
I think it's over. Did we pass the test?
Didn't feel much like succeeding.
I see the door has disappeared.
Or it was never there.
They toy with us still. What is that?
A Kelpie. Don't see many of those in these parts.
She must be theirs.
Will she take us to them?
I'll ask her. Nicely. Easy, girl. Easy. That's right. Good.
Care to talk about whatever the Norns put you through?
No.
Get on.
That's a good lass. Lovely creatures, but temperamental by reputation. In my land, they'd keep children away from the lost by telling them a Kelpie would drown them. Of course, no Kelpie I know would do such a thing. Unless it was disrespected.
It walks on water.
Aye. No mystical water steeds to speak of in Greece, brother?
There were the hippocamps. They served the sea god. I battled one upon a titan.
That might not be her favorite subject. We're here.
Fate's own hideaway. Never doubted we'd make it.
Kratos, Freya, and Mimir's head. Enter the home of the Norns, tentatively. They have finally reached their destination. Kratos speaks first.
I seek my son.
You know the child is in Asgard. No, you seek what all who search for us seek. To know the ending to your story.
The ghost of Sparta furrows his brow menacingly. He resists the urge to grunt. Oh, he fails.
You come to us, piteous archetypes, seeking freedom from your scripts. As if knowing your lines would grant you the power to rewrite them.
Speak plain.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
But you called him the destroyer of fate. There must be a way to subvert destiny.
There is no destiny, Puck.
The protagonists are speechless. They do not understand.
There is no grand design, no script. Only the choices you make. That your choices are so predictable merely make us seem prescient.
When my son was born, shut up! Your prophecy said he would die a needless death.
And he did. Because you could not let him go. Because he thirsted for revenge. And because you kill gods.
But what Kratos did, it was not out of hate.
Should I bring him a crown then? He still slays gods, but now he's sad about it? You are the sum of your choices, nothing more. And because your choices never change, you will learn that Heimdall intends to kill your son in Asgard, and you will do what you do best. And then Ragnarok.
The skies burn, the curtains fall. Exunt omnes.
Heimdall.
Again, he misses the point.
Focusing on the second act to the exclusion of the final. A common mistake in storycraft.
We are leaving.
He stomps away, followed closely by Freya.
I enjoyed your story, Kratos. Pity it has to end so soon.
Well, that was educational.
Let us leave this place.
Happily.
That's better. I can feel things getting more normal already.
Wait. That tree.
Well, isn't that interesting?
What is this?
That's the noose, brother. The one Odin hanged himself with. As part of his endless, mad quest for secrets of life and death and what have you.
What are you doing?
It's a charged object, significant to Odin. Perhaps I'll find a use for it.
Brother, what they said about the boy?
Will not happen.
Oh, I agree.
It will not happen. We will not let it.
Of course we bloody won't. The question is how? You wouldn't seriously consider killing Heimdall, would you?
I will do what I must.
Oh, is that all?
You're wrong to dissuade him, Mimir. You know Heimdall.
I grant you that he's a spiteful, vicious little shit.
And so loyal, Odin entrusted him with Galahorn. If we have the chance to eliminate him before Ragnarok, we shouldn't hesitate.
Considering his powers of foresight alone, that is an if of mountainous size.